Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Malikicowtipper bringing you the start of Season 8. Season 8, this is just so darn cool. I mean, I really like what Blizzard did, how they kind of rebalanced the leagues and stuff like that. You know, when they first started doing it, I hadn't been in the StarCraft scene at all. You know, I played back when I was like 12, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I think I'll try building like 3 hatcheries, and oh my god, there's Hydralisks everywhere. So, anyway, really looking forward to this. I did get placed back in Gold League, which, you know, to be fair, my placement match was against a guy who was in Platinum who had like 2,000 career wins, which is about double what I have, maybe even more than that. I think I maybe have around like 650 or so, but, you know, it really doesn't matter as far as that's concerned because I probably do belong in Gold League. I'm slowly working my way up, getting my skills back, and right now I am bringing you a ZvZ. My opponent today is Babary, and let's just get some stuff pulled up for you guys right here. Let's see here. How about Control A, Army Supply? No, I don't like that. There we go. That one. That's so neat. And then we'll do the Income tab right over there. A little redundant, actually. How about the Units tab over here? So, for our 2 different builds, you're going to see me and Babary do basically opposite builds. I had originally intended on doing a fast expand on this build, and for myself, I'm trying to figure out, you know, what I like best as far as a build goes, and I've been watching a lot of pro games and seeing what they do. And back when I was playing StarCraft, a lot of very popular build was to go to 13 workers, get a gas, get a pool, and then continue to drone up, and to give you a lot of droning time. But I feel like your early economy is not so good. But on the flip side, you don't need a lot of minerals early game as long as you have enough to continue producing. You know, every time a larva pops to make a worker, it's not that big of a deal. So when I get over to Babary's base and I scout him, I don't see a pool, I don't see a gas, and I'm expecting a fast expand, which is exactly, oh, yes, I was able to deny that for just a little bit, but see, I have him on an auto path, I wasn't paying attention, I could have been a very, very big asshole there, delayed his early expand, but now that I saw that going down, as far as it goes, I don't want to try to play the, oh, I'm going to early expand, but I'm going to do it, you know, so many seconds behind you. I'm going to go for a pool first, get gas, and try to get speedlings and control the map. And my idea for this is, if you have a Zerg that's going to go fast expand, that means a couple of things. If we take a look at this, I have quite a few more workers than he does, which means I have quite a bit of a better economy. I'm going to have my speed sooner, and even if it's only off of 1 hatchery, you'll have your queen out sooner, and if you can get speedlings out in time, you can really punish the enemy Zerg for taking that expand. Sometimes you can deny it, force him to cancel it, or even better, kill it, just because he doesn't have the army there to defend it. That puts you at a huge lead, and it's just a really good feeling overall. So, take a look at this. I will hopefully be researching my speed pretty soon. I think as soon as I have 100 minerals. Nope, I'm going to continue to build workers because I'm cool like that. And there we go. Speed is on its way. But you can see right here, he does have a drone blocking my expand. And to my foolishness, I'm like, well, what the hell? And that does slow me down by a little bit. And realistically, if you take a look at this, my pool's been up for probably about 30 seconds now. I've built 2 lanes, but I'm still droning, so this to me means I didn't commit to my strategy, and realistically he has just as many lanes out as I do, and my kind of plan for playing it conservative and trying to gain the map with gain control with early speed lanes, we take a look at this, my speed will be done a little bit before his, just really isn't going to work out because he's going to have more lanes than I am, and to that end, that does kind of put him at an advantage. Because if we take a look at this, I only have 1 worker up on him, and realistically, I'm going to see 4 Zerglings right here. If we go over to the production tab, you're going to see me probably panic and build a few more units with the Zerglings. So my response to this is I'm going to lay down a Bangling nest, and I'm still going to commit to some early lane pressure on my opponent, but in a little bit of a different way. I'm going to wait until this hatchery's up, and hopefully around the 7-minute mark, I'm going to hit him, you know, with maybe about 4 or 5 Banglings and a small little group of Zerglings, and this will do 2 things for me. I can see if he's going roaches, which at that point I can transition into roaches to counter him, or I can go mass speedling and try to do it that way, which isn't very mineral efficient in the early game, I should say larvae efficient, or if he isn't going, if he's not going roach, and he's going mass speedling, a few Banglings will clear that up nicely, and I can maybe pick off some workers, and at that point I'll have a really good idea on what I'm starting to face. And you guys are going to see a lot of cool things in this game. This is a little bit of a longer one. Good macros are a game. There's a lot of things that happen in it, some cool units that come out. Well, not that there's anything special about any of the units, but if we take a look at this, his speed is going to finish right as he comes up for this attack. And he just has 3 more lanes over here. He's actually going to do a pretty decent job at cleaning all of those lanes up for you guys. Give me 1 second, please. I will correct my audio for you. Yeah, that's because I care that much about my viewers. Not to turn it down enough initially. So right here, we're going to have to see if I can get enough lings out to defend my base. So we take a look at this. I'm producing 18 units worth of lings, and for him, he's droning behind this. So if we take a look at the income tab right here, he actually has quite a few more harvesters than I do now, and that's part of the result of him getting this early hatchery down. He's been able to drone off of it a lot longer than I have, so at this point I would say his opening has worked quite a bit better than mine. That attack forced me to produce quite a few more speedlings than I had initially wanted to, so at this point I have a couple different options. I can attempt to drone hard, which is what I really should do, but also because I've made all these speedlings, and now that I've made banglings, you can see I'm also morphing some defensive banglings just in case he tries to do a speedling run by, and I'll hopefully spread those out a little bit over my base instead of just leaving them clumped up there. Is I need to make something happen with these. I need to do some type of damage with them, and you're going to see there's actually a really bad misclick on my part right here. So I'm going to poke up here with the speedlings, and going to kind of get an idea. See that he's doing dual evo with spine crawlers behind, which is a very effective wall. It would take a lot of banglings to bust this down. We can see that I ran my banglings right into the destructible material. That was smart. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to morph a bunch more banglings, and let's see here, Babary, yeah, he can clearly see this. He has control of the Zelnaga. He knows what I'm doing. And for that, there's not much he can do about it aside from this. Just pull his drones off, get his queens up here, and try to do something with it that way. So, for me, being that this is what I see, I know I can sneak around here, and I'm hoping I can get into the drone line and hopefully get a few kills and make this cost effective. So if we take a look, 25 harvesters to 22 harvesters, that is one thing that laying down these defenses has cost him some of his harvesters. So we go through here, and actually, we're going to put this back. And everyone, we can see that I pick off a few lings, and I am able to get in here and actually get, you know, a lot of drone kills, which did make that quite effective, deal a little bit of damage to the spine crawlers. Queen damage, you know, really doesn't matter. They'll regenerate that fairly quickly. So now if we take a look at it, I'm up 28 to 20 harvesters, so that attack definitely... check a look at the units lost tab. I've lost quite a few more units than my opponent has, but for a better part of the game I've had a better economy than him. And we can see that I have quite a big harvester lead. If we check out the production tab right now, you can see that I'm building a lot more zerglings, and I'm also building a lair. So I'm trying to tech up behind this pressure, and if we take a look at this, he's actually responding by building more harvesters, which a lot of times as a Zerg, if you take a big hit like that, you just need to replace the economy. You can't say, crap, now I need military units. We as Zerg don't have that luxury. So I'm going to morph a bunch more banglings, and I'm going to try to get in there one more time. Now, going through my head on this is, you more than likely have an economy lead at this point, and that wall's there and all those queens are there. This attack really might not do a lot of damage, but I'm committed to it anyway. And I think my logic behind that was I wanted to put on just a little bit more pressure, and then behind that pressure I wanted to drone like a son of a gun. Because I figure between my two queens and the injects, I'll be able to do that, and possibly even take a third base. And I'm hoping that this pressure, this will be the last attack that I do on this, will keep him in his base longer and stop an expansion on his part. So, again, because of his good map control, he clearly knows what's coming, and he has plenty of time to make a wall with his queens right here, and this is just really not going to be very effective for me. So I run my lings in here. I decide that I'm going to pull the lings back, but then in an act of foolishness I decide, you know what, screw it. We are blowing up that evo chamber. I really hope I canceled some type of that evolve, and right here you can see that I'm just running my Zerglings around, and I'm really not even able to do much with this. I didn't even pick off the queen, and I'm just going to lose pretty much all of these lings. This attack was really just poorly executed on my part. Very, very not cost-effective for me. We can see that I've lost a lot of resources compared to my opponent right now. And if we take a look at the tech, the one, I guess, benefit I do have to this is I now know that he's going Roach, which is cool, I guess. So if we take a look at this, I'm laying down a Roach Warren. He's getting level 1 attack. And if we take a look at the income tab right here, I'm barely up, I barely have an advantage, and I've thrown away a lot of resources in that attack. So that pressure really didn't do me a lot of good. I guess the one good thing that I can say of it is that he doesn't know that I have taken this, that I'm starting to take this expansion here, and if he lets me get this up and running, I could gain a huge economy lead. And he doesn't see those overlords going back there. So these roaches, they're going right for the front of my base. We can see that I'm dropping dual evos. I'm going to try to create a little bit of a a bottleneck right here. And if we take a look at the production tab, I'm going to very quickly attempt to produce some roaches to try to fend this off. And you know, right here, what he really should be doing is saying, oh, wow, you have no defense, and not stop and kill that, which is exactly what he's doing. He's going to go straight for my Roach Warren, which I highly, highly like what he's doing right here, just because it's going to be very annoying for me to counter roaches with lings when I have no roaches of my own. So broodling's getting out, doing a little bit of damage, and my roaches are spawning right now, and I'm almost instantly going to lay down another Roach Warren, so that's only going to set me back a little bit, and I should maybe be able to clean up this attack. Maybe not. His roaches might just be too many, and as far as that goes, is he reinforcing? It doesn't look like he's producing 8 more units worth of roaches, but they won't be here in any good measurable amount of time, and I'm going to be able to push that back with minimal losses. Go back to the units lost tab, we can see, but he's doing a very good job at keeping this game cost effective. Has a slight supply lead on me, and as far as income goes, he's actually up on me on harvesters right now. It's the only thing I have going for me is I have a third expand up and running, and he is getting his up and running right now. But what I'm doing is I'm sending out a group of speedlings. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm almost certain that he expanded behind this pressure. And I'm hoping that I can catch that base unguarded, because he's probably expecting me to try to turtle up and, you know, defend that base from any further aggression. So right here, seeing that worker definitely lets me know that he was planning on expanding. Cancel the expansion here, snipe that worker, and then get the fuck out of there. So, as far as that goes, I've been redroning this entire time, trying to get my economy up and running, and I have 3 bases, he has 2 bases. And at this point, he's sending these roaches out because he probably thinks, oh wow, this guy might have a 3rd base. Let's go check this out. And to this, I'm sending my units down here because I'm like, cool, he might come and attack me. Although there's absolutely nothing cool about that. The problem is I do not have nearly enough roaches down here. If we check out the production tab, I don't have a lot of money to support this attack. He has a lot of unspent money, and my roaches just are not going to be enough here. We can see he has 1-0 and I have 0-0. I am currently researching 1-1 for my roaches, but his roaches are going to do a good job at cleaning this up. And what's really going to kill me in this attack is I'm reinforcing with more roaches. That's awesome. But the problem is I'm sending them in like this, and they're barely having time to deal any damage whatsoever. What I really need to do is gather up about 5 or 6 roaches here and do a push and just finish this off. I easily could do that. Even if I got to surround him with these workers, it might help out. But he's reinforcing, and I think he smells, you know, victory by being able to take out this hatchery. And if he can drop this hatchery, he can put us back on an even playing field. But right now, I'm able to reinforce, get a few more roaches in here, and he stops focusing down the hatchery. I'm really not sure why he did. Guys, at this point, if you've committed to an attack like this, and it's so close, it's worth losing a few more units to do it. And right here, you can see I'm laying down an obnoxious number of spine crawlers, because they do fairly good against roaches with their relatively slow DPS, and these have a lot of armor once they're built. So this will at least buy me some time next time he decides to come at this hatchery, and have a hero worker in here who just smells blood. So cool. Going back to the income tab right here, 58 to 47 harvesters, my 3 base to his 2 base, is really going to hopefully help put me back in this game. And one thing for him is he has a lot of unspent money, and I'm not sure if it's because he's poorly managing his injects or if he could use another hatchery right now. We check out production and see that I'm getting 2-2 for my upgrades, and my opponent is still on 1-0. So once my 2-2 completes, even right now with me being better on upgrades on him, the thing with this is, if you're going to go mass roach, it's very easy to do upgrades, and even then if you want to transition into roach infester. Infested Terran share upgrades with roaches, Hydralisks share upgrades. But if we take a look, he's actually going to aspire, so he's going to try to transition into air, which is probably why he's not researching any more upgrades. And for me, I'm sending in an Overlord up to this part of the map because I have a sneaky idea that I'm going to lay a Nautilus Worm over here because that's going to be awesome. And I'm going to get into the base and I'm going to see what's going on, hopefully kill some units. It's just going to be so chill. And we can see that now he's putting down his 3rd expansion. He has some troops over here, and he's going to be able to guard that and probably keep that up. Unless I sent in a lot of lings, I really wouldn't stand too much of a chance. And in fact, I think I'm going to grab these guys very soon and send them over. But you can see I'm still massing roaches down here because I wasn't too comfortable with the hatchery. But at this point, a little bit of creep spread wouldn't be a bad idea. Another queen to do a couple transfuses really would do wonders for this hatchery because it's still so vulnerable. It could go down with one easy push of the roaches. And we can see I'm loading up this Nidus network, and I'm going to drop it right over here. And if we take a look at this, Babary he can't really see this part of the map over here with his vision, which is actually very nice for me as far as that's concerned. And he is going to send some speedlings out down here and probably park some over here. And what that's going to do for him is just give me, one over here. That's going to give him early warning on when I'm trying to expand, because he knows that I've had my expansion up and my economy's been better than his for quite some time. That's the one reason I'm still in the game, is the early hit with my banglings took out a lot of his workers and his, I'm not going to say his early aggression because it was more aggression on my part. Kind of a mixed bag, but I am able to snipe a couple queens here with this, which is actually really nice. I'm able to kill a few workers, any kill that you get. So it would be tough to say whether or not this attack was cost-effective to do it, but if anything, I stopped him from mining for quite some time. I killed a couple queens, which all have to be replaced, and interestingly enough, I've lost some workers, but I believe, so after I saw the spire, what I immediately did is I laid down 3 or 4 spore crawlers at each base. And when you think about it, 6 mutas come in here, they're going to get absolutely shredded by these spore crawlers. There's no chance that they have to survive this whatsoever. And we can see that he's taking a 4th up here, which I definitely like that idea of, again, expanding behind some muta pressure. And he's probably expecting me not really to have a response ready, but the good thing is spore crawlers build very, very quickly, and there just isn't enough mutas here. Too much time spent building roaches probably sapped him from his gas, and the fact that he didn't get gas until quite a bit later just meant that he might not have had enough gas to really make this attack worth it as far as that goes. And Muta's DPS just really isn't high enough for him to do any real effective damage. I mean, he could sit here and poke away at the Roach Warren, but he's going to lose these Mutas in the process. And a Roach Warren is, what, 150 minerals? If you lose 2 Mutas trying to attack it, it's just not cost effective, and I can easily transition into something else. In fact, I've already laid down a Hydralisk Den to counter mass Muta. And if we go over the production tab, you can see that I have started my 3-3 upgrades. That was the main reason for me to get my Hive Tech, because I really didn't plan on going Ultra on this one. Just Mass Roach, in general, is very, very effective. But now that I saw the Mutas out, I figured, you know what, Hydras also share those awesome upgrades, so let's put them down, and let's see what happens. Let's go Roach Hydra. And I've got a really good mix here, 2-2 upgrades, 3-3 on the way, and if we take a look at his ground army, 2-1, it's going to give me a little bit of an advantage. He does not have a Hive in sight, so I will definitely win the upgrade war. Going over to the income tab, you can see that he's actually up, and he has his 4th base up and running. So right now, I really need to put the pressure on Babary, otherwise I'm not going to, be able to win this game. We can see he has so much money saved up right now, and our supplies are dead even. If we take a look at the units lost, I'm almost double what he is, so he's been just extremely cost effective with everything he's done. And I think part of that is just bad plays on myself, like reinforcing with 1 or 2 roaches at a time. He got a lot of free kills right there. That second attack for banglings just was not cost effective, but right here, now that I have a few infestors in the mix, I feel good about going up against what I'm assuming is an all roach composition at this point. If there's a few mutas mixed in with it, I'm really not too concerned about them, just because I have decent base defenses up. He can throw his mutas away trying to take this down, especially now that I have, a few more queens popping. It just would not be cost effective, whatever damage he did, unless he had just a butt ton of them. And, these Hydralisks will do a good job unless the pack of mutas, say, above, like, 12. Maybe 15 mutas might be a little bit dangerous, but, 15 mutas versus 12 Hydralisks, the Hydras are going to win. So I'm going to break apart the center of the map right here, and I'm going to go on the offensive. And my game plan is to go for the expansions first, because I want to take those out. We can see that he denied me expanding here. He'll deny it again, and I'm just getting an expansion up here. And as this battle goes down, I'm able to lay down a couple fungals, which is really going to help the DPS. And as far as the spread goes, my roaches are taking the blunt of the damage, while the Hydralisks are just doing absolutely massive damage. And the upgrades that my units have, 3-3 right now, are just easily going to help me win this battle. Now, he is doing a mass roach burrow, so all those units have regenerated, and I have no detection here, and I might not have been paying the best attention to that part of the battle, so he's going to pop up. And it's not like these units aren't going to get cleaned up, but we can see that he's being cost-effective with these by getting them to heal. And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm going into your base. And I don't know if this was a mistake on my part to decide to break down these rocks. What's going to happen here is he's actually going to get me in a really nice surround, and he's going to be able to clean up pretty much all of these units. Again, not at a loss to himself, but the problem is, if you look at how much money he has, he can remax so much faster than I can. I have almost no money right now, because I mined out here. I don't have enough saturation here, and we can see that I have, oh my god, saturation down here. And to this end, I'm just building whatever I can, you know, to try to keep my army in the mix. And at this point, I'm kind of worried because I'm like, holy crap, my army's getting smaller. But because he ran out of gas, he had to build a lot of lings, and between the mix of lings and roaches, and these hydras just doing so much damage, I mean, 15 attack with that high speed, cleaning that up. And I do still remember from previous poking ins that there's a big base defense right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send a group down here to attack this hatchery up here, because I'm assuming there's one at this point in the game, and I'm also going to try to take this one out down here. And this is really what's going to win right here, just he cannot remax fast enough, and again, I can maybe use a few more hatcheries. Oh, that really sucks. You know, maybe one more macro hatch. I mean, if I had all that money, I would just lay down a bunch of hatcheries. That way, if I lost my army, I could easily rebuild it. And to this, you know, the base is just slowly going to fall as I poke in and deal with the base defenses. His army, he's 100 supply below me right now, and these 4 spine crawlers and all these workers just are not going to be enough to stop what I'm going to throw out. And you can see I've got a few roaches just kind of picking away at the base up here, you know, just chilling, doing their thing. And this is pretty much where I'm going to come in, deal the death blow to my enemy, and secure victory. So with this, all I'm really going to do is just brute force my way in. I know that I have the army composition to win at this point. I know that my upgrades are better than his, and I'm just going to face melt everything that gets in my path. You know what, I'm even going to fight the blue mains. Fuck them. They can all die. So, let's just kind of take a look at some of the final tallies in this game. For units lost, this game was not cost effective for me. It took me a lot of units to win this game, and had my opponent done a better job at spending his money, you can see that he died with 3,000 minerals. He probably could have won this game from me. His expands were better at the end than mine were, and, you know, looking back at this replay, I really feel like I should have lost this game. But I think what ended up winning me the game in the end was better upgrades on my units. The composition that I have actually worked very well for the battles that I was pursuing, and I don't think my opponent was the best all in Roach, and I do believe that Roach Hydra can be a very effective counter to Mass Roach, just because your Roaches take so long to kill each other. I mean, 22 damage with 4 armor, so 18 damage out of 145 health. It takes like 7 or 8 direct hits, not including regeneration, maybe even 9 hits, you know, of this acid, which takes 2 seconds and has a weapon speed at 2. That's just so slow, versus a Hydralisk. In the time that this guy can attack once, this Hydra's, you know, almost attack 3 times, and has dealt substantially more damage. Granted, less armor, they're basically glass cannons, but a good concave of roaches to absorb the damage, and then the Hydra's just to, you know, shock and awe in the background, especially in creep with their fast movement. Good composition. And to that end, I hope you guys enjoy this game, and I hope you guys learned something from it. Malikicowtipper signing out.